At the time of this episode going to air, Kim and Tyler's youngest son is currently in hospital. If you didn't see on my story, or you don't follow Kim and Tyler, about a week ago, the youngest son was rushed into hospital being very lethargic and generally very unwell. After a couple of days of being in hospital, the doctors have diagnosed him with type 1 diabetes. I'm very pleased to say he is on the mend and he is getting better, and he will be coming home at some point very, very shortly. But this is something that's going to change his life forever and change his family's life. And it is something that I didn't even know to look out for in my own children. And that's fucking scary. That's really, really scary. I'm bringing this to your attention because later in the show, I'm actually going to tell you some of the warning signs and some of the things you should look out for. Because I think if you're a parent and you're listening to this show, or even if you're not and you've got nieces or nephews or any young children, it's something you should be aware to look out for and to know that it's a danger. As I've said to Kim and Tyler, if there's anything I can do for you, anything at all, I know we're not close in distance, but anything I can do to help, I will. Wishing you all the best and a speedy recovery for your son. And here is this week's episode.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
You are now listening to Home of Halloween's podcast. This is the horror movie review podcast run and controlled by you, the listeners.
You want to die tonight?
You choose the movies I review. You also get to have your say in the 3-word review.
It's time you fucks contributed something to the cause.
I promise you, you have never heard a podcast like this before, so welcome to the You Run podcast.
Are we having fun now?
No.
Hello, welcome back to the You Run podcast. Or, if this is your first time listening, welcome to the You Run podcast. My name's Scott and I'm your host, and each week I will take you through the movies that you have chosen for me to review. We'll get your scores on the movie, your 3-word reviews. We'll also get facts that you give me, and I will share my thoughts and feelings on the movie that week too. I'm also joined by guests every week, or a guest or guests, depending on who I've got. This week is no different, and I'm joined today by Kim and Tyler from Heykimandtyler on Instagram and TikTok. If you don't know who they are, pause the podcast now, go to Instagram, type in Heykimandtyler, watch 3 of their videos, laugh your ass off, then come back and continue the show. Because that's what's going to happen. They are such a funny account. They're both wonderful people, and they're going to be giving their thoughts on this week's movie. They're also going to take on Purge or Play and see if they can catch Heather. So, is the host of Wednesday Wine and Horror safe? Or are Kim and Tyler going to hunt her down and take the top spot? We'll find out later. But before we do any of that, we're going to talk a little bit about this week's movie and get into the trailer. So this week is Crazy Clown Week. I put a movie in the polls and I got absolutely slammed because it's not a movie. I know it wasn't a movie. So the movie I put in, I'm sticking with it. The movie I put in was It from 1990. I got inundated with messages. Do you know this is a miniseries? This is a miniseries. This was a 2-part miniseries. I know it was a 2-part miniseries. I watched it on TV when it came out in 1990 as a 2-part miniseries. I know it technically is not a movie. However, you can stream this on multiple different streaming sites in one sitting without a break. It's a movie. We can agree to disagree, but it's a movie. And not only is it a movie, it's a movie that won the polls by an absolute fucking landslide. Every other clown movie this went up against, including the remake, it destroyed. By lots and lots. So, this week's movie is It from 1990. And here's the trailer.
We're sort of a club.
Yeah, the Losers Club.
Want in?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, we're 7 now. Lucky 7. I want to kill it.
I just want to forget about it.
It's not just us. It's all the other kids, too. Who's gonna be next?
It kills kids, damn it! You killed my brother George, you bastard! Let's see you now.
Maybe it's the water.
The water. Maybe it's the sewer.
Hi, Georgie. You're not real! You're not real!
Was it Pennywise?
Big white guy, red nose, about 75 feet tall, mouth full of razor sharp teeth.
You smell that? That's death. Losers fight it. Losers die.
They all flow!
Let's jump straight into your scores. So for it, you have scored this 86%. There's an 86% chance that you will enjoy this movie, according to you, the listeners. And for Fear, you've scored it 74%. There's a 74% chance that this movie will scare you. I'm going to talk you through how I felt going into this and how I felt going out. And I'm not going to dive too much into anything, really, because this movie is all about feeling for me. It's a movie that I watched when it came out and absolutely loved it. And I was a huge advocate of how this is so much infinitely better than the remakes and fairly close to the book. There's lots that they could never do in the book. There's a fucked up weird orgy scene in the book. There's a masturbation scene in the book. There's a giant fucking turtle in the book. Seriously, there is a giant turtle in the book. Also appears in the Dark Tower. That you're never going to get that shit on TV because it's either too fucked up or it's just not going to come across and you're never going to get your head around it. Also in the book, the stories are told in parallel. So in this film and in the remake, they tell you the story of the children and then the story of the grown-up children. In the book, they don't do that. They bounce between both timelines, and the book ends with the young children fighting it and the adults fighting it at the same time. And again, that shit is not going to wash in a movie. It's going to be too complicated to follow unless you're a huge Stephen King fan. Now, feeling-wise, I went into this movie super excited because I fucking loved it when it came out. Absolutely loved it. I sat down, I got nestled in for the 3 hours and 20 whatever minutes it was, and I was quite excited. After about 45 minutes, I had started to lose patience a little bit. And hear me out on this. This is because it was originally a TV series, so there was gaps every 15 minutes for an advert when this would have been released. And when you watch it back in one sitting, you can see where the adverts are coming because they kind of build to a little mini cliffhanger, then they stop. And watching it in one sitting, it's painful. There's so many bits like when Mike is ringing round and inviting all the people back to Derry, it's kind of like, oh, fucking come on. We didn't need all of that. We really, really didn't. And then when you get into the second half of the movie, there's almost like this kind of mini recap on the shit that's happened. There's not actually a recap, but they kind of have this bit where they all sit round the dinner table in the Chinese restaurant and they talk over things and there's flashbacks. And again, it really, really wasn't needed, but it was needed for the TV version of this. There's also bits that I think they could have done a lot better, but they didn't. And I think a lot of that was around budget. So there's some diabolical claymation in this. And anyone who listens to this show knows I fucking hate claymation, and the claymation in this is some of the worst I've ever seen. It's so piss poor. And that leads me on to the worst part of this movie, which is the spider. So at the very, very end of the movie, Pennywise the clown turns into a spider. And they kick the shit out of the spider. There's no real magical or mystery to it, that they rip it apart with their bare hands. And that kind of happens in the book, but that was really bad. And the spider was really shit as well. And I think it was something that the director went, this is what I want, and gave the prop department some visuals of what he was after. And they come back and he went, what the fuck is that? And they went, it's kind of all we can afford. And I know that he tried to show as little of the shit spider as he possibly could, but it was still too much. I know that sounds like I've just given it a kicking, but there is one redeeming quality of this movie that will forever have it in a place where I will go back to it. And that redeeming quality is Tim Curry as Pennywise. Pennywise the Dancing Clown by Tim Curry is exceptional. He delivers fear and makes you feel uncomfortable and can make you laugh. Yes, he's overacting. Yes, it's really cheesy. But when you've got a space travelling spider clown, is there any other way you can portray that but fucking over the top? You can't play that down and play it like a straight ass psychopath. That's not going to work. He's a crazy clown and he does it so well. And Tim Curry is the only reason I would watch this movie again. I firmly sat in the It 1990 is the best adaptation of a Stephen King novel ever. After rewatching it, I am going to change my mind. The best adaptation of a Stephen King novel is It Chapter 1, the remake with Bill Skarsgård. And if that ever gets chosen on the show, I will go into all the details of why that's so much better and how it's so much closer to the books. But that's not this episode. That's what I think of the movie. I know I'm going to get some backlash. Feel free. DM me, any of our social medias, at Home of Halloween. Also, if you want to get your voice heard and you want to tell me something that you want everyone to hear, anchor.fm/Home of Halloween. Click on the message button, record me a voicemail, whatever you want it to be. I will play it on the air and then I'll respond to whatever you have to say. That's what I thought of this movie. Let's find out what you thought of it in this week's 3-word reviews. I asked you for them. You delivered them. This week's 3-word reviews. 3-word reviews this week are all coming in from Instagram. And Instagram are leading the way in interaction with this show. I get a little bit from Twitter, we get a little bit from Facebook, but to be fair, Instagram, you all fucking rock. Every single one of you. So here's this week's 3-word reviews. Sleffler 1127, Stephen King's awesome. Ringmaster's Realm, Tim Curry rocks. I fucking completely agree with you. Dream recast movies, Nightmares for Days. S.M. Horror Reviews, ruined my childhood. And finally from Skellington fan, beep beep Richie. And those are this week's 3-word reviews. A little bit about the 3-word reviewers this week. So Sleffler1127 is a mixed fandom account. Ringmaster's Realm is a vintage toy shop. We've got Dream Recast Movies is a Photoshop wizard and screenwriter. We've got S.M. Reviews is a movie reviewer. And finally, Skellington Fan is a horror and Tim Burton account, and they're all on Instagram. Links to all of them are in the episode bio, so please go and give them all a follow. That's part of the reason for the 3-word review, is to help build our community on our social medias. So anyone who's in a 3-word review, go and give them a follow, and I'm sure they're all going to give you a follow back, and it helps us all grow as well. Don't forget, if you want to get in the 3-word review, keep an eye out for them. When you see them, give a 3-word review. It takes 2 seconds. With your 3-word review, make it interesting, make it different. Like Skellington fan, Beep Beep Richie, and you get to hear my horrific impression of Pennywise the Clown. Hello, Georgie, want a balloon? And that was this week's 3-word reviews. Okay, welcome to a new segment of the show. This is something that I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I've decided I'm now just going to do it. There are so many good accounts out there who do so many good things, and there are so many people on social media who prey on these good accounts, and they go, oh, we can get you so many followers, you just need to pay us X amount of money, or we can advertise this for you, or have you thought about promoting it here? And I get them all the time for the podcast, and I know people on YouTube get them, and people who make things get them, and to be honest, they kind of piss me off. So this new feature is I'm going to pick an account once a week, and I'm just going to give it a quick shout out on the air. I'm not going to charge anything for it. I don't want anything back in return. This is just an account that I found that I think is cool, and I think you should all go and have a look at. So this week's recommendation from me is Deadhead Dolls on Instagram. That's dead.head.dolls. It's DOLLZ. I don't know the best way to describe this account to you. The creations that the artist makes are outstanding, but they're nothing like you're going to find in a shop anywhere. I can guarantee you everything there is unique and one of a kind. And go and have a look at their creations, and go and have a look at what you can buy from them. They're a very, very interesting account, really, really nice as well. Yeah, go and have a look. And that's my weekly recommendation this week is Deadhead Dolls with a Z on Instagram. Let's do facts and fuck-ups. I'm going to start this week with your fact. You'll give us a fact. We had some really interesting give us a facts this week, which, when I fact-checked them, weren't facts. So I'm going to throw it out to you now, as the listeners. Would you like me to add a fake fact? So a real fact from a listener and a made-up fact, because we had so many this week that were made up that made me chuckle. And I probably should share them, but I want to know if you want them or not. So please reach out to me. Tell me if you want some fake facts in there as well. This week's fact comes in from Attack of the Midnight Feature. And what they've come up with, which I didn't know, and it genuinely blew my mind. Director Tommy Lee Wallace is a childhood friend of John Carpenter and actually played the Shape in some scenes in the original Halloween. Which leads me on to one of my facts about director Tommy Lee Wallace. He is a bit of a horror icon as far as I'm concerned. So if you don't know other things he's done, he's directed episodes of Max Headroom. He's directed episodes of The Twilight Zone. He'd done Fright Night Part 2, Vampires Los Muertos. He'd done Halloween 3. And then away from that, he even directed an episode of Baywatch. What more could you possibly want from a director? Seriously. The sewer scenes in this movie were all filmed in a steel mill. Not once did they step foot in a sewer. The ending of the book, so Stephen King's novel, includes the appearance of the turtle. And this is actually a turtle, and it's or Pennywise's, natural enemy. This was cut from the script by the studio. And when the studio was asked about it, they went, "You're fucking crazy. We couldn't put that on TV." Alice Cooper was originally considered for the role of Pennywise. Now, this next fact stands testament to how good Tim Curry portrayed Pennywise. So it is only on the screen for less than 20 minutes. He's on there for 18 minutes. And in 18 minutes, Tim Curry delivered one of the scariest clown performances ever. And my final fact for this is Jim Carrey was almost cast as Eddie. So a very young Jim Carrey, almost become Eddie. Into the fuck up this week. This film has not got many fuck ups. There's not many continuity errors. There's no one walking around with mobile phones or any shit like that. It's a really neatly done movie. The only fact I could find, or the only fuck up I could find, is young Beverly uses the slingshot to fire at Pennywise, and she uses her right hand to pull it back, which would suggest she's right-handed. Later in the movie, you find out that grown-up or adult Beverly is left-handed, and that's the only fuck up I could find. So whether I like it or I don't like it, or whether you like it or you don't like it, continuity-wise and quality-wise, they didn't make any mistakes. And that's this week's Facts, Fuck-Ups, and Give Us a Fact.
Do they float? Oh, yes. They float.
It's finally time for me to introduce Kim and Tyler from Heykimandtyler. Their account is incredible. And the reason their account is incredible is because they are incredible. They are so entertaining. They're so much fun. They're going to lift your spirits. They really, really are. And the reason they're going to lift them, in the words of Pennywise, is they float. They all float. And they really do. They float up so high and they lift your spirits with it. And I apologise for my horrific pun, but I wanted to emphasise how fucking great they are. And what better way to do that than with the wonderful words of Tim Curry. I'm going to stop talking shit. Here's Kim and Tyler.
Welcome to the shit show.
So welcome Kim and Tyler to the show.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
You're on Crazy Clown Week, and the movie this week was It from 1990. I'm going to kick it off by saying it was fucking long.
It was long.
God, somebody
it
else
took
said
us
that.
2 days to watch it.
When I looked through, I remember watching it when I was a kid, and I was thinking, when people picked it, I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. It's a nice, easy movie. And then you get sort of halfway through, and I'm going, fuck, how long has this got left? And then when I looked into it, it was originally a mini series, so it was like 3 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it was long, and 2 parts as well. So it's not like, because you had to go and watch the first part, and then you had to go and find and watch the second part, and then because of that, we only started watching the first part last night at like midnight because we had a busy day yesterday.
Yeah, but I just want to highlight something while we're talking about this. You fell asleep for a section of it. Okay,
I fell asleep for a minute. Okay, it's not my fault. I may have only missed a vital part of it for a minute, but it's okay.
You've only missed the bit that I'm going to ask you about in the quiz later.
Probably, yes. Yes, I have very low expectations for our quiz.
I think you're going to do all right. Before I get into that and before we talk about the movie, I want to talk a little bit about you, because my listeners aren't going to know a huge amount about you, because most of my listeners and followers are fans of horror movies, and that's not your account. But I wanted you to come on the show because your account is so much fun. And it is... I look at your account and it's almost like looking through a lens into my life with my wife, but I'm nowhere near as brave as Tyler.
Brave or stupid, I don't know which one it is.
What was your first thing that made you go, I know what we can do that?
Well, it's a funny story. Like, it all started back in lockdown, and we were talking to our kids, and they talked about TikTok.
And we TikTok, yeah.
We were like, oh, that's a cool dance. And then we found out it was actually an app.
I thought TikTok was a dance. I didn't know it was an app that had videos on it.
So we downloaded it and we looked at it, and we each had an account ourselves. So I had my own account and Kim had her own account. And I mean, the videos that we put up, well, mainly me actually, were really embarrassing.
Yours were shite.
Really bad. Right? So then there was one day I was like looking at this, like loads of other people, and I was like, oh, they've got couples in their video. And then I was like, people always think that me and Kim are hilarious.
No, that is not what you thought. You just decided one day to start wrecking my head
Yeah,
running up to me,
I'm got to that
doing
part, yeah.
jokes.
But I'm just trying to make it sound like we love each other, right?
Okay, well, there's no need to lie, Tyler.
Okay, right. Well, the whole truth is I just wanted to piss Kim off on a daily basis, really. But like, it started off as a joke, right? And then people really liked it, and then it became a whole thing where every time I started, I was like, "Hey, Kim," and then from there, Kim decided to get payback or revenge or whatever you want to class it as, and then it kind of blew up when she did a water bottle prank, and it went everywhere. And then from there, it just became a thing where it was like, right, I'm going to do a joke just to annoy Kim. And then Kim decides to, just up the antics again and start doing comebacks now to shoot me down every time I tell her a joke. So it all stems.
Brutal.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Won't do any good to run, girly boy.
Yep.
Like, there's literally, what can you say back to some of them? It's like, nah, I'm just going to laugh because...
I liked the one yesterday.
I can't remember that one.
That I was jealous of everybody who hadn't met you.
I liked that one as well. The other one was where you said about, I can't remember what it was, but you went, yeah, well, I probably wouldn't be able to find it.
Oh God!
Stop! There's loads of
There's
those.
so many.
Yeah, and like we did one. We did one a while ago as well, and it was just something innocent. But then Kim turns around with her comebacks, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll back in my box. I go. Do you know what I mean?
Innocent.
So, all of my jokes are innocent, Kim.
All your jokes are far from innocent, Tyler.
But it really, what it's turned into now is showing people that you can have fun in a married couple, because a lot of people think when you're married it's boring, you have kids and you do nothing. And what we've discovered now is that we get a mountain of messages every day saying people come to us and they're like, oh, I love it, I really want to have a relationship with like you guys, you seem like so much fun, and I want to aspire to what you got, and couple goals and all this kind of stuff. But really it's just showing what it's like in our house. We're lunatics, the two of us, and we just want to share it and kind of brighten people's day up with a laugh, really.
Basically, my motto is just to not take life too seriously.
Yeah.
That's it. Because life's too short to be serious.
It's such a good motto. And you really are a good example to set of how a couple should interact.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and Lisa know lots of couples who are, they really are grumpy and miserable. And me and Lisa aren't. And we prank each other, and I do things like I prank my mother-in-law. I got her with a confetti cannon the other day and things like that. And
deadly.
Oh, Tyler's mother would die of a heart attack if I ever did that to her.
My poor mommy.
It was one of those things that I done it. I said I was going to do it, and Lisa's like, yeah, do it. Yeah, that'll be really funny. Yeah. And then when I'd done it, the look on her mum's face, I kind of went, fuck, I'm going to die.
Yeah. If I did that to Kim's mom, she'd just drop kick me in the face.
She would probably murder you.
Yeah. Like Kim's mom was like Jackie Chan. Like,
Yeah, so, she would. Yeah, she wouldn't be too.
What is she, a black belt or something like that? Isn't
she? She was a black belt in karate back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, she was.
So definitely, I'm not doing a confetti cannon against her.
No.
I'm not being funny. So earlier on, I watched a live video where you done a McDonald's challenge, and you had to eat 10 burgers. Yeah. I think there's got to be a confetti cannon challenge for you.
Oh.
Ooh.
You need to do that to Kim's mum, because it would be the funniest video ever with the result that would come after.
No, we can't do it on my mother, but we might be able to find somebody else in my family to do it on.
Can I do it to your granny?
Oh my God, you would kill her with a stroke if you did that. But yes, you can do it.
Yes.
As long as I can do it to your mother.
Oh.
I'm going to stop suggesting things, because otherwise I'm going to be in court for assisted manslaughter.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm definitely doing this.
Oh my God, that would be brilliant.
Your account, all of your videos pretty much start with "Hey Kim" or "Hey Tyler."
Yeah.
I decided to take a leaf out of your book, so I've actually got a "Hey Kim" and a "Hey Tyler" for both of you. I'm going to give you one, and I just want the genuine reaction. Don't pull your punches, because I don't want you to. So, as it's Clown Week, they're both based on clowns. So, hey Kim.
Yes.
What do you call a clown who never sits down?
I don't know.
A stand-up comedian.
I knew it was going to be something to do with stand-up.
Oh God, shoot me now. I thought my jokes were bad.
I knew it was going to be something with stand-up, but I just didn't want to say it.
My turn.
Well, yours, Tyler, I actually wrote yours 2 days ago, and then you've done a McDonald's challenge today, which I've kind of given the answer away. But what does a cannibal call a clown?
Oh God, a hamburger.
A Happy Meal.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that one.
That's my attempt to do your account, and I'm going to stop now because I'm not very good at it.
That was good.
Oh no, that was good. I like that.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the movie, which is why we're here. What were your thoughts on it? What stood out as good and what didn't? Because I know for me, it's dated badly.
It is very dated.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it's a 90s movie based in the 60s, isn't it? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the idea of the movie is good. The concept is good, but they just performed it very badly. It was the acting, and it was just everything about it was just terrible. Especially, the part that I fell asleep to.
Do you even know what part that was?
Yeah, I do.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
But can you go back a sec? The concept of it is horrendous.
No. Yeah, if you take away the alien part and just leave it as a murderous clown, then you've got an all right movie. Do you know?
The whole thing about the alien, and then it's a giant ant.
They lost it then. Do you know what I mean? Like, they fucking lost it when they when he turned into an alien or whatever it was. But if they had just kept it as a murderous clown who actually just murdered people, and that was basically it.
Yeah.
And hid them in a fucking cave, it would have been okay. But no, when they threw in the giant.
And Tim Curry, who played the clown, who played Pennywise, was really good. He does that really well, and he's scary, and he's sinister,
that's him. He was a good actor to play that role. He's always good at those kind of roles where they're like sinister or evil, kind of. I feel. Yeah, no, I did like him in that. I think he did a really good job. There was just a few bits that I thought would have been stupid, like the clown face being on the moon when he was talking to your man. I was like, that's the part you thought was stupid. Yeah, that was stupid. Not the giant ant. The giant ant. Stephen King. You kind of gotta be prepared for something stupid like to come out. Stephen King, but that was just I know some of Stephen King's movies are a bit touch and go. Like, you just don't know what you're gonna get when you watch them. Like, it'll either be a pile of shite or it'll be all right. Like, there's no in between. It's like chalk and cheese. It's either good or it's bad. So it's like Days in My Marriage. Oh, very funny, Tyler. Very funny, Tyler.
Lisa said exactly the same as you said about the clown on the moon. She referred to it as the evil Batman.
I'm Batman.
Evil Batman.
I agree.
That's funny.
Totally agree.
Yeah, no, the whole thing was just.
But it's a classic though. It is a classic.
I know.
And you gotta love it.
I don't understand how people like it.
No, I know, but it's like, I don't know what to describe, but it's it. Like,
it's it. I know. Yeah, they wouldn't even call it a him. They kept calling it it.
Yeah,
it is back.
It's a crap movie, but you love it.
It is a crap movie.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what better way to put that.
I don't know either. It is a very shite movie.
It's such a strange film. There's so much about it that, as a horror fan, I really like.
Yes.
But then there's so much that I look at it and go, oh, fucking hell.
That's it, exactly. I'm a huge horror fan as well. And I love a good horror movie. And that's what I mean. Like, with the concept of the movie, it could have been a really, really good movie. But they lost it a lot in a lot of parts, and it kind of, you're sitting there, you're like, nah, that's ridiculous. And why didn't they do that instead? And why did they do that and not this? And I think
you're a horror fan, aren't you, Kim?
Yeah.
And Tyler, you're not so much.
Absolutely not. Give me like My Little Pony all day long.
Good old romantic rom-com, I'd say, for Tyler.
I love it. 50 First Dates.
50. I love that film.
That is a good movie now, I have to say.
I've just lost loads of listeners now because I've said I love that film, but I genuinely do love 50 First Dates.
50 First, it's very funny, I have to say. Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Anyway.
Stop talking about it. We're not doing that movie.
Well, you say that, but you didn't enjoy this one, so we could do that because you think that's a better movie.
You see, Yeah, look, I watched it, right? And I've seen it a whole one other time in my life, right? Probably, well, I wasn't old enough when it
15
came
years
out,
ago, probably.
right? Maybe 15 years ago. But I would never, look, it's an okay movie. I watched it, I'm not going to watch it again, right? But it's a classic. So I'll give it a classic credit and say, yeah, look, it's a crap movie, but it's still, a good name.
Yeah. I mean, if we were back in the 90s and we were watching it for the first time, and we hadn't, we don't have all the technology and all and the graphics and everything that we have nowadays, and we were watching it for the first time,
I'd shit myself.
Probably would have been a lot better than watching it now.
So what you're saying is, if you'd watched it before you watched any better other horror movies, it would have been okay.
I might have had a chance of actually getting a bit of a good rating off of me. Yeah, possibly.
Like if you look at it, right, and then you look at Sinister, right?
Yeah,
Sinister's scary, right?
I love Sinister.
100%.
It's like going to the play. I could watch it. I could watch in Sinister, right?
Yeah.
And then not want to go out my front door, right? Terrified, nearly wet myself. And then to cheer me up, I'd watch it.
I did. That's it, because you're sitting there to eat, and like every scene, you're rolling your eyes because you're like, "Oh my god!" It's the cheesiness of it, and the really bad acting, and the overacting, and the fake tears, and the and why was she kissing all the guys? I don't understand.
That actually goes back to something. So in the book, in the novel by Stephen King, there's a bit that they left out. And they wouldn't put it in. They wouldn't put it on screen, and they didn't do it in the remake either. So in the book, she actually sleeps with all of the other boys to bring them back as a group, and it's the most fucking bizarre thing. I've read the book, and I read it kind of going, "What the fuck?" Really?
So it wasn't the phone call from Mike that brought them all back. It was her sleeping with them all. A phone call would have been so much simpler. Oh my god! I was wondering, because they all met up in the Chinese restaurant, and she kissed one, and then I was like, "Hang on!" And then she kissed the other Bill, and then I was like, "He's married." And then later, and then she fainted or whatever, and your man was like, "Oh, hello, good looking," and she kissed him, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah. Lisa sat there. I think Lisa's words were, "What a slut."
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I said.
End of the line, slut.
What is your favourite horror movie, Kim? Because you say you're a horror fan. So if you had a couple of hours free, no kids, what horror movie would you pick?
I would probably have to pick most of the Conjuring movies. I quite like them. And then my all-time favorite would probably be Sinister. But definitely the Conjuring is always up there. Like if I see a Conjuring or they brought out The Nun as another kind of spin-off of it. Even though I knew that movie was going to be shit, I had to watch it because it was part of The Conjuring somehow. I still don't really understand how, but I had to watch it anyway because it was part of The Conjuring. I love those sort of, maybe that there's more than one, a series of them. And they're loosely based on true stories as well. So I like that.
They are so loosely based.
Yeah, that's what I will say. Loosely. Yeah,
the
very
only true
broad.
part about those films is
their names.
Yeah. I had a conversation with someone the other day. We were talking about how close they actually were to reality. Especially the newest Conjuring. The closest it got to reality was there once was a person called Ed and Lorraine Warren.
That's where it is.
And that's as far as it got. That's as close as especially the new one got to what actually happened.
I haven't seen the newest one. There's a new one that's been released recently, hasn't there?
Yeah, the Devil Made Me Do It. So
yes.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But after speaking, I reviewed it and basically went, I really liked this. And then someone come and told me all the facts around it. I was like, I don't like it as much now.
Oh, no. Okay, well, don't tell me the facts.
No, I won't. The opening scene of that movie, Tyler, if you don't like horror movies, I would give that a swerve.
Oh, shit.
No, he'll watch it because he has no choice. He has to power on through and watch them all.
Because he'd be bitch slapped if I want.
I was going to say, it's quite apparent, Kim, that you definitely rule the roost in your house.
Damn right. I mean, yes, dear.
Hey, it works. If I didn't rule the house, there wouldn't be a house.
That's the same here. If Lisa wasn't in charge, there would be nothing done. There would literally be nothing done at all.
Literally, absolutely nothing done. Like Christmas, for example.
We're not going to have this conversation on the podcast.
I'm not going to cause a domestic between you two on the podcast. Everyone's messaging you saying you've got such a wonderful relationship. I don't want you to ruin it on my show.
There'll be a Conjuring Part 7 very soon.
In Ireland.
I think now's a good time. Do you fancy having a go at our quiz?
Go for it.
Kim's going first.
It's going to be woeful.
I think you'll be okay. So the quiz is called Purge or Play.
Mm-hmm.
There's 10 questions. It starts very, very easy. So the first 2 or 3 questions, even if you're not a horror fan, you should have a good idea. You get 3 purges, which act as passes. And if you use those, you can pass the question and still get points. So if you give me a correct answer, you get 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
If you use a purge, you get 2 points.
Okay.
And if you get it wrong, you get no points at all.
Okay.
So are you ready to give it a go?
Okay. Can I get more than 3 purges? I'm only messing.
I'd like to say you're not the first guest to ask for that, but I would be lying.
Okay, let's go for it. I'll just blame me falling asleep on the couch if I get it wrong.
I said at the beginning of the show I was going to talk about some of the warning signs of type 1 diabetes and some of the things that can happen if you don't do anything about it. And I think before you hear Kim and Tyler take on Purge or Play, this is a perfect time for me to do that. So some of the warning signs are a dry mouth, strong thirst and frequent urination. Also, blood sugars over 240, but if you're not already testing for blood sugars, you wouldn't spot that. So dry mouth, strong thirst and frequent urination. And if you're seeing those symptoms and your child is generally unwell, please reach out to someone, your doctor, your paediatrician, your pharmacist, someone. Ask some advice, because none of us are doctors. You need to get that advice. Reach out to someone. Don't just go, they'll be okay in the morning. And I know as parents, we all do that. We go, oh, it's a cold, they'll be fine. But if you're worried, please reach out to someone. Because if you don't, the results, especially with type 1 diabetes, can be really bad. So they can have confusion, extreme fatigue, like Kim and Tyler's youngest son did, flushed skin. They can have vomiting, stomach pain, and trouble breathing as well. It's really scary. And I know it's something that not many of us think of. I never gave a single thought to the possibility of my children getting a chronic illness. It's never, ever popped into my head. And I think most parents are like that. And I'm pretty sure Kim and Tyler, before this happened, they never gave a second thought to anything like this. But I think as parents, we need to. So please keep an eye on your kids. If there's anything you're concerned about, reach out to a medical professional for help. Again, sending all my love to Kim and Tyler, a speedy recovery to their son, and let's hear how they do in Purge or Play. You are now entering the Purge or Play arena. The quiz for Home of Halloween's You Run podcast. The question is, will you purge or will you play? The first question might completely stump you, so you might want to pass this over to Tyler.
Okay, Tyler can go first.
Name one character from the movie It.
Okay, I'll take it.
Go on, yeah.
Georgie,
yeah, okay, cool, perfect. That's 5 points to you.
Okay, we got this game. I feel confident.
You feel confident now, okay. Question number 2. Which Steven Spielberg movie features a shark that eats people?
Oh, I got it. No, wait, no, don't. Is it Jaws?
Are you asking or are you telling me it's Jaws?
It's Jaws.
It is Jaws. You're 2 in a row. You're doing well. They're going to start getting a little bit harder now.
Okay.
So question number 3. What horror movie does someone die from an alien exploding out of their chest?
Alien.
It is Alien. You're on a roll.
Go on, Tyler.
Question number 4. Johnny Depp debuted in what horror movie?
I know this one.
Sleepy Hollow. Is that what it's called?
You going with that?
Well, it's a horror movie, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I'll go with that one. It's the only one I can think of.
Okay, it's not. It was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't forget, you've still got purges. So if you don't know, you can always use a purge.
Okay.
So from here on is when they get really, really hard. So these are the questions you're either going to know them or you're not going to know them. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Question number 5. How many people involved in The Exorcist died during production?
This was a useless fact I used to know, but now I have forgotten.
Do you actually knew this?
I had a conversation about this before, but no, I'm going to have to purge and give it to Tyler.
Are you going to take guess, Tyler, or do you want to use the purge as well? Are you agreeing on a purge?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely agreeing with whatever Kim says.
You have to answer the question.
Okay, so that's 2 points for that question, and it was 9, believe it or not. 9 people died during production. Question number 6. How many Friday the 13th movies are there?
I think it's 7.
I'm gonna say like 4.
No, Kim, it's more than that.
I don't know. I haven't watched all of them.
Well, you've still got 2 purges if you want to use a purge. So you've got 4 questions left and 2 purges.
What do you want to go with?
Purge.
Gonna go with the purge. So that's another 2 points, and believe it or not, there's 12.
Oh, okay.
I never would have
No.
So this is a line from a movie, and all you need to do is tell me what movie this is from.
Okay.
It is not the house that is haunted. It is your son.
I've watched far too many movies. Trying to think of what ones has sons. No, I will not get this. Tyler, do you have any idea? It's not your house that's haunted. It's your son.
And it's not 50 First Dates.
Shit.
About a year ago, Lucy was in a terrible car accident. She lost her short-term memory.
And can I take just a while? I think it's like one of those films that you love.
The Conjuring. It's one of the Conjuring movies.
I think it is. Because those are the boys that are all scary and creepy.
The one. Oh, was that a girl or a boy? Where it's based in England? I can't remember. Have we got one more purge?
We've got one more purge, haven't we?
You got one more purge, and you've got a couple of questions to go. So you can either purge or
I'm gonna say the Conjuring number 2. I'm gonna take a stab at it.
It wasn't. It was Insidious.
Oh shit! We didn't watch that. God. That's the one with the camcorder.
Insidious. Yep.
Question number 8. Across the Saw franchise, how many people have been killed? So that's all of the Saws, including the new Spiral.
So all the people that he had in his.
Yeah, so every single Saw movie, including the new one that's come out, Spiral, how many people in total have died in that franchise?
Okay, so I'm going to say, Kim, my guess, right? But don't bank on this, but I'm going to say it's between 35 to 40. No, wait.
Do you have to give an exact figure?
I tell you what, if you can get within 10, I'll give you the point.
Okay, I'm going to go with 40. You happy for me to
Yeah, go on now.
Yeah, okay, 40. 4-0. Final answer.
4-0. That's incorrect. It was 106.
What? My God, that was way off.
What did you kill a cinema? Holy shit.
It's a lot.
That is a lot.
I was expecting like 5 people per movie.
It's a huge amount. Yeah. Question number 9. So in the Halloween films, has Michael Myers killed more or less people than the Saw franchise?
Okay, I'm going to say less.
You've got 1 purge remaining. You've got.
Okay, I'm going to say more.
But it's entirely up to you. You've got a purge. You've got question 9 and question 10 to go.
More or less than Saw.
So 106 people died in Saw. Has Michael Myers killed more people than that or less?
Less.
I'd say less. Yeah, go with less.
You're going with less?
Yeah.
That's no points.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I'll be honest, when I researched this one, I was gobsmacked. So Michael Myers has killed 128 people.
Jesus Christ. How is he not locked up? Seriously. Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's crazy.
A huge amount.
It is,
Final question. So, question number 10, and you've got a purge, so you can definitely get points on this.
Okay.
What real life?
Sorry.
I'm going to give you the question first, then I'll let you purge it.
Okay.
What real life serial killer inspired Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I know this, and I know I'm going to purge it, and I know when you say the answer, I'm going to kick myself.
Yeah.
Say the murderers again.
The films was Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. One serial killer inspired all three of those.
So what serial killer used to eat their victims?
Jeff Dahmer or whatever. No, did he eat them?
I don't think he did.
God, I can't remember. No, I'm going to have to purge.
Okay,
I can't.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to purge?
Yeah.
So that's another 2 points. It was Ed Gein.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't remember.
I know. It wouldn't have been one I would have come up with straight away.
And terrifyingly, when I found that one, I actually went to have a look and to see how bad he was to inspire all three of those films.
Yeah.
He was really fucking out there. So they found 5 noses in his fridge.
What? Nice.
They found a lampshade made out of human skin.
I do remember this one. Yeah.
They found, when you get like a table lamp that's got a pull cord on it.
Yeah.
You switch the light on and off. The actual pull cord was made of lips that were stitched together.
Oh my God.
And there was a belt as well, wasn't there? Made out of something.
Do you remember what the belt was made of? Because I was absolutely mortified when I read it. I was like, really?
No. It's like foreskin or something. I don't know.
It's not far off. The belt, he had a belt that was made of nipples.
Oh, nipples. Yeah. I knew there was a belt. I couldn't remember what it was made from exactly.
You've actually done really well. So what have you got? You got 5, 10, 15, 17, 19, 21.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Hey, I don't feel like a failure.
Look, 21's a respectable score. So I won't tell you where you've come in the leaderboard. I release a weekly update on where people are. You're in amongst them.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we're there somewhere with everybody else, which is a good thing.
Which I'll be honest, when I invited you on the show and I wrote the questions, I was sat here with Lisa going, I don't know how well this is going to go because I know that only Kim's the horror fan, so Tyler's going to be heavily leaning on that.
It's all right. I'm happy I got 1 with Alien, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I purged 3 and only got like 2 right myself, so you didn't do too bad.
No, I didn't actually. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah.
No, you've done really good, and that was this week's Purge or Play.
Brilliant.
Cool.
That was fun. I
Right,
definitely didn't feel prepared. I feel like I needed to study.
Beep, Richie.
Well, to be fair, Tyler did stitch you up, not showing you the email to the last minute. You would have been on a completely different episode.
Well, this is very true as well. Yeah, I literally only seen the episode or the email yesterday. And I was like, damn it, I would have done so much better with the Descent or with As Above, So Below.
My listeners don't know because we spoke about that before we come on air. So when I sent the episodes out, I sent them out to Kim and Tyler, and Tyler looked at them and he had a choice of Crazy Clown Weeks or In a Hole this week.
In a Hole. Yeah.
And In a Hole this week was The Descent. There was As Above, As Below. There was quite a few movies in there that you've seen, Kim.
Yes. Yeah, and I would have been way more knowledgeable about those movies than I would have been about it, to be fair. But it's all good. It's all good. We managed to watch it.
And funnily enough, because you didn't take that episode, I actually pushed it to next season. So that episode's not even going to go out in season 3 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bumped it back. So I have multiple episodes that are kind of lingering in the background, and then I send out multiple episodes for guests to choose from.
Yeah.
And when someone doesn't choose it and it doesn't make the episode, it gets bumped back.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So yeah, that won't appear until season 4. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to get both of your final thoughts and kind of who should see this movie recommendations. So, Tyler, what are your final thoughts on it?
Okay. My final thoughts would be
no pressure.
Watch it once and put it away.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be my.
Because at least then you can say you've seen it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Right? Yeah. if you want to watch a horror but you don't want to be scared, watch it.
Yeah, if you don't mind a lot of cheese and bad acting as well.
I don't mind that. That didn't bother me.
Oh no, I can't watch.
No,
movies like
that didn't bother me at all.
Mm.
I think, look, it's a Stephen King. Be prepared for anything weird, right?
Yeah.
That'd be the number one bit of advice I give you. You have to watch it because it's a classic, right? But don't expect it to be like, you know, something that's actually going to scare you.
Yeah.
Good film. I liked it, but I wouldn't watch it again.
Definitely one of those movies where it's like, you watch it just to say you've seen it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those films around.
There is. Yes.
There, especially in horror, there are too many.
There are a lot. Yeah, I feel like they some people just come up with ideas just to make a movie to throw it out there for Halloween.
It's like, do you know the Jeepers Creepers? Do you remember when that first came out? Right.
So bad.
Loved it. I loved.
I know.
One,
I remember.
right?
Yeah.
Then the second one came out. Quite a shite.
No,
I was like, just
we watched back over the Jeepers Creepers there not too long ago, and I was like, how did we even like these back in the day? Yeah.
Do you know that there's another Jeepers Creepers coming out? I think it's the end of this year, beginning of next year.
Yeah, I'll put that with the same category.
Shia LaBeouf was in them, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was in the first one. I think.
Oh, in the first one. I don't even think I saw the second one.
With his tattoo around his belly button.
Yeah, he got tattoo all over his chest for a movie.
Yeah, no, but for the Jeepers Creepers, they cut that piece of the skin off and bloody blah.
You clearly remember more than
I do. A lot. I liked it.
Yeah.
Did you like it though? Because it was another movie that you went, "Oh, this is silly. I can watch this."
I don't know why I liked it.
I don't know. You did enjoy it though. Yeah,
I really did like it. I watched it a good few times. Even my mom watched it, and she's a baby. Like, I don't know what. I think, do you know why? We used to watch it, and then together she'd be like, "Jeepers Creepers, better watch those peepers."
Sad.
Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers?
Anyway, sorry, back to it, right? So, look, lads. Watch the movie, but just put it away in the cupboard after that. You just say, yeah, I've done it, next.
I was about to say, who puts movies away in cupboards anymore? It's all online now.
I'm 100% on the digital bandwagon. So all of my DVDs and videos and stuff went to Car Boots and the Tip. God knows how long ago. There are so many people who still collect and still have proper physical copies of stuff. I haven't got room in my house.
I have a huge box of my lifetime collection of DVDs down in the shed because I don't have the heart to get rid of them because I've had them for so long. Is it?
Yeah.
And then also the same with CDs. I have a huge bag full of CDs as well that I just can't get rid of. You know, because I bought them when I was a teenager, and singles. Do you remember singles? I could buy the one song with the two other crappy songs on the disc or on the tape or whatever.
On your playlist, then, what CDs have you got lurking in your shed? What were you buying as a teenager?
Linkin Park.
All sorts of everything, yeah. Like there's Linkin Park, there's Eminem, Nickelback. Oh no, I don't have Spice Girls anymore.
Papa Roach.
You have Papa Roach.
Papa
then
Roach.
There's like Bass Hunter and Tiesto, and like there's a good broad mix of songs down there.
I think you've got nearly every Eminem
genre. Yeah, Eminem. I've got pretty much all of his CDs. Yeah, and Linkin Park as well.
It's Club 7.
To be fair, you've got a really good collection in there. There's nothing in there that's made me go, "Oh my god, really?"
Yeah, no. To be fair, I got rid of the Spice Girls a long time ago. That would be the only questionable one, I think. But no, decent music. But it's all online now. You know, I have an Alexa in my kitchen, so I could just tell her to make a playlist for me, and that's it done. Like I don't even need the CDs. Now I have a couple of CDs in my car, but my kids own most of them.
Before we go, if you can tell everyone where they can find you, so they can come and seek you out, because I really, really want my listeners to go and find you, because you're such a unique account. You're so different, and there's so many accounts out there who are couple accounts, but then they're not genuine. That you can tell they're kind of like, "Oh, honey, come and look at this."
Yeah,
and you're really not that. I mean, there's so many times that I've watched Tyler go, "Hey Kim," and you turn around and go, "What the fuck do you want?"
That's it. That's awesome. But you know why because he knows how to push my buttons. So what he does is a little trick, and he will come at me about 10 times with the phone, and he'll be like, "Hey Kim," And like the first couple of times, I'm just like, what? You know, it's not a big angry, like, what? It's like, what?
Yeah.
And so then he'll stop recording and he'll run off and then he'll run back in again. And once he gets that really angry, what? And that's when he does his joke.
Yeah, that's the video that gets shared.
Yeah, that's it.
Good.
He gets me to a certain point of like anger. And then he's like, right, that's good.
Yeah. Well, you can find us on Instagram. It's down as Heykimandtyler. We're on TikTok as Heykimandtyler. And that's it. We've only
Instagram's our main platform that we use.
Instagram's our main thing. Yeah. And then we've started doing our lovely podcast show, but I'm not going to mention that yet because it's really, really
No, I think you should, because I'm actually using the music from your podcast show to introduce you to the show. So,
right. Well,
your podcast is The Shit Show.
It is. It's called The Shit Show. Yeah, that's basically our life is just a shit show.
Yeah. So yeah, it's short snippets. It's only 20 to 30 minutes long, but it's just us talking about people's stories and then taking the piss. I ask people on Instagram to send us their most fucked up story. It could be anything from like a bad wedding, a bad, I don't know, experience in school. It could be a bad doctor visit. It could be anything. And they send us their story and we read it out. I read it out and get Tyler's reaction. His real reaction. Yeah.
And it is funny. His reactions to them are fantastic. They really are. And I'd recommend anyone go and listen. So it's The Shit Show, and you can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's on Anchor. It's pretty much everywhere.
It's on 6 or 7 platforms.
Yeah. If you're listening to my show, wherever you found my show, go and type The Shit Show in, and you will find Kim and Tyler's show as well.
Yeah. Or Heykimandtyler, because we actually discovered there are quite a few called The Shit Show.
Oh, are they really?
Yes, there are. There is actually another couple of podcasts called The Shit Show. Ours has a blue and pink squiggly background, I think, and then it says Shit Show for the profile picture.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they can search Kim and Tyler or Heykimandtyler as well on Anchor.
Only if they want to, sure.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, if they don't want to, that we're not going to force them. We're not going to say
no.
That's the joy.
No, I am. If you're listening to the show, go and fucking do it right now.
Go and fucking do it now. It's just a laugh.
It is, and I love your show. I love your page. And I'm going to be honest with my listeners now. The reason you're on this episode is because I wanted you on.
Aww,
I wanted to have you on because you entertain me and my wife, and you bring a bit of joy into our lives, and I wanted to share that with my listeners. So you being my guest is completely selfish on me.
Oh, thank you so much. That really does mean a lot.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure. I'm sorry you had to endure a creeping onto a 4-hour movie instead of like an hour and 30 minutes.
Next time, I'm definitely going to read the email way in advance to make sure we're on
Kim
the
wants
same
to
page.
do the descent ones. So when you're doing that, she wants to come back on for that one.
100%. You're more than welcome whenever you want to come on. Definitely. Thank you very much, and
thank you so much for having us.
Thanks again.
A huge thank you to Kim and to Tyler for coming on the show. They were both super, super nice, incredibly funny. Please go and show them some support. Go and give them a follow on Instagram or TikTok, or go and listen to their show, The Shit Show. They're so entertaining. They're funny. They're wonderful people, and everything they do, it's really them. They're not a fake account. They're not one of these accounts that are out there that are just like a mock couple. They're really not. They really are. It's a real couple, and they're sharing their real life with you, and there's not many accounts like that. So please go and give them a follow. And Kim and Tyler, you're now part of the Home of Halloween You Run podcast family. Thank you so much for coming on. Next week we have got Family Loves Week. I got loads of messages when I said we were doing Family Loves. People going, what's that? That doesn't sound very horror-y. Family Loves Week is very, very simple. It is a movie that the family will love. It's not necessarily a horror, but these are the gateway drug movies of taking our children and the movies that would have taken us into watching horror movies. So for me, my gateway drug to horror was Scooby-Doo. And for other people, it's Are You Afraid of the Dark? For other people, it's Ghostbusters. And next week, the Family Loves movie is Beetlejuice. It's showtime! I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to be reviewing Beetlejuice. I'm almost as thrilled about reviewing Beetlejuice as I am about my guest next week. Next week, I am joined by Veronica, or as most of you will know her, the Horror Viking. She's going to give her thoughts on Beetlejuice, and she's going to go after Heather in Purge or Play. She may be able to catch her. Make sure you do not miss next week's episode, because it is going to be an episode like nothing we've done before. It's not a horror movie, but it kind of is. It's loved by us. It's accepted by us in the horror world. And I cannot wait to share everything I know about it, because I know loads about Beetlejuice, and I know Veronica does as well. Next week is going to be awesome, and I'll catch you all then. Thank you for listening to Home of Halloween's You Run podcast.
You've done your job well, and Mommy is pleased.
Don't forget you can get involved in the show in so many ways.
Truly.
The 3-word review.
He's insane now.
Give the show a call. Anchor.fm/Home of Halloween. Leave us a voicemail and get a play on the air.
Beers to the left of me, beers to the right of me, let's do it.
Not to mention, give us a fact.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
This is the You Run podcast, because you run the show.
Welcome to a new world of gods and monsters.
If you enjoy the show, leave us a review wherever you can.
This is God.
Or reach out to us direct and send us a DM.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
You want to die tonight?